What's up, guys? This is PEO Games, and in this video today, we're going to continue my top 10 games of the upcoming Saturday in college football, and I'm going to base this off of Andrea Alderson's article from ESPN. She created this article where she predicted the top 9 games of the upcoming weekend, which this weekend is also known as Statement Saturday. So I'm going to say what she wrote in her article because I decided I wanted to make that in a YouTube video, and then I'll tell you who I predict will win. So last week I was 6-4, so I was 60% correct. This time let's try to get a better record than that and improve from there. So the first game is number 1 Alabama at number 3 LSU. This is the 8 p.m. CBS game and also the College Game Day game. This is the 5th top 5 matchup between these two teams and the 7th time in the past 10 meetings that they have played as top 10 teams. There's only one problem for LSU over that stretch. Alabama has dominated the series, winning 7 straight. There's also this bit of history that is not on LSU's side. No team ranked number 3 in the first college football playoff rankings has ever made the playoff. The Crimson Tide are favored once again and ESPN's College Football Power Index gives them an 87.9% chance to win the SEC West. If Alabama beats LSU on Saturday, it will do just that. As dominant as Alabama has been, this game presents the biggest challenge yet for Tua Tagovailoa. As the blisteringly hot Tide offense, Alabama leads the nation in scoring offense, averaging 54.1 points per game, but LSU ranks 6th in FBS in defensive efficiency and 7th in FBS in defensive scoring. Only one of Alabama's 8 opponents ranked in the top 40 in defensive efficiency, and Alabama scored only 39 points in that game. The question is, even if the LSU defense can slow Alabama down, can the Tigers score enough points to win? The playoff ramifications are huge. If Alabama wins, the Tide will remain number 1. If LSU wins and then goes on to win the SEC championship, the Tigers will be a playoff lock. What does that mean for a one-loss non-conference champion Alabama? That would present another challenge for the selection committee, not unlike the one it faced a year ago when it chose the one-loss non-conference champion Tide at number 4. One key difference between last season and this season is an undefeated Notre Dame team could add a potential roadblock. I think Alabama will win this game by 14 points. I think the line is 14.5 in this game. I think it will be a very close game up until the third quarter, and then Tua will start to get going, and then Alabama will pull away in the fourth quarter. The next game is number 14 Penn State at number 5 Michigan on ESPN at 3:45. Michigan is now FPI's favorite to win the Big Ten East, but the Wolverines have to get past the Nittany Lions if they want to stay on track for a spot in the conference championship and keep their playoff hopes alive. According to Playoff Predictor, Michigan's chances to reach the playoff would increase from 36.6% to 45.4% with a victory Saturday, but drop to 17% with a loss. So how much will revenge play a motivating factor in this game? Michigan is on a self-described revenge tour this season against the teams they beat the Wolverines a year ago. So far, Michigan has taken down Wisconsin and Michigan State. Penn State, which embarrassed the Wolverines 42-13 last season, is next. Watch for the key matchup between Michigan running back Karen Higdon and the Penn State rush defense. Higdon had rushed for 100 yards in 6 consecutive games, the longest streak by a Michigan player since Mike Hart had 8 straight 100-yard games in 2007. The Nittany Lions had allowed only 2 100-yard rushers this season. I think Michigan will win this game, and I think it will be another very close game between these two Big Ten powerhouses. I think Michigan will win by a touchdown, but it will be really close the entire game. The next game is a CBS 2:30 game, number 6 Georgia at number 9 Kentucky. The winner of this game clinches a spot in the SEC championship and staves off playoff elimination. While Georgia has made 6 SEC championship appearances and was given a 75% chance to win the East in August, Kentucky is one of 4 teams that hasn't played for the SEC title since the SEC championship game was added in 1992. Georgia goes in as a 9-point favorite, but on paper, this does not look like a gimme for the Bulldogs. Both rank in the top both rank in the nation's top 10 in defensive efficiency, and how Georgia quarterback Jake Fromm plays against an aggressive Kentucky defense will be a huge key. Kentucky brings pressure on the quarterback on 43% of dropbacks, the third highest rate in FBS behind Clemson and Alabama. Fromm has been sacked of 12 of 42 dropbacks when passed, the highest rate in the conference. The last time Georgia played at Lexington in 2016, it needed a last-second field goal to win. With the victory, Georgia's playoff odds jumped to 51.4%, but a loss drops it to 10.1%. Kentucky faces much bigger odds even with the win. Its playoff odds increased to just 1.9%, while a loss would essentially eliminate the Wildcats from contention. Though we don't have any models that can predict the odds of Kentucky making the playoff if it wins out, common sense says the committee would have a hard time leaving out a one-loss SEC champ that has victories over number 11 Florida, number 6 Georgia, and the SEC West champion. I think Kentucky will win this game. I think it will be the upset of the day. I think this is going to be a very hard-fought game, very low scoring. I think Benny Snell will rush over for 200 yards and lead the Wildcats to a victory. The ABC Nightcappers, number 7 Oklahoma at Texas Tech. Even though the Sooners are outside the top 4, they are right in the middle of the playoff race. FPI gives them a 77% chance to reach the Big 12 championship game, higher than any other team in the conference. The situation is not unlike 2015 and 2017. In the first college football playoff rankings, those seasons, Oklahoma had one loss and sat outside the top 4, yet made the playoff both years. But a second loss this season would virtually eliminate Oklahoma from contention. The Red Raiders aren't pushovers. Quarterback Alan Bowman ranks number 7 in the nation in passing yards with a 2,411 yards. The pressure will be on revamped Oklahoma defense to contain big plays. The last time a top 10 Oklahoma team came to Lubbock, Texas Tech won 34-27 in 2007. I think this game will be very similar to the Texas-Oklahoma State game. Texas was supposed to win that game, but they were upset by Oklahoma State. I don't think Texas Tech will beat Oklahoma, but I think it'll be a very close game. I think Oklahoma will win by 7 points, and it's going to be a very high-scoring game. At 3:30 on Fox is number 13 West Virginia at number 17 Texas. If Oklahoma is the current favorite to win the Big 12 title game, the winner between the Mountaineers and Longhorns is the favorite to join it. A victory Saturday would give Texas a 72% chance to reach the title game. West Virginia's odds would jump to 65% with a win. With 2 losses already, the Longhorns' playoff odds are a long shot at best. But West Virginia could possibly find a way if it wins out and get some help ahead of it in the rankings. Will Greer recovered from the most miserable performance of his career against Iowa State with a 353-yard passing day against Baylor last week. Texas, meanwhile, comes off off a tough 38-35 loss to Oklahoma State. Though its playoff hopes are all but gone, there is plenty to play for in Austin. I think this will be another high-scoring game, and I think West Virginia will win this game because I trust Will Greer more than the Texas quarterbacks who have alternated between the starting and backup quarterbacks for Texas. So I think West Virginia will win this game, and this will move them on to the Big 12 championship game. At 11 o'clock on ABC is a Louisville at number 2 Clemson. The Tigers go in this game as 39.5 point favorites and have the highest odds among any team to make the playoff at 93.4%. I think Clemson will beat Louisville by even more points than they beat Florida State, and I think this will not be a close game at all. At 7:15 on ESPN is number 4 Notre Dame at Northwestern. Notre Dame is in a great position to make the playoff, but the Irish have to hold off a tough Northwestern team that has beaten Michigan State and Wisconsin this season. I think Northwestern will win this game. I think this will be another upset of the day, and by losing to Northwestern, I think Notre Dame will be pushed out of the playoff conversation because they do not have a conference championship to play for because they're not in one of the major conferences. The Pac-12 After Dark game on ESPN is California at number 8 Washington State. So you're saying there's a chance. It might look bleak for the Pac-12, but FBI gives the Cougars a 1.4% chance to make the playoff. Imagine the gift America would get with an entire month featuring Gardner Minshew's mustache. Don't know what that means, but I think Washington State will win this game because I think they've been getting on a roll ever since that college game day game in Pullman, Washington, and I think they will win by 14 points. At Fox at 11 o'clock is Nebraska at number 10 Ohio State. Even though the Buckeyes lost to Purdue, they still have a 32.5% shot to make the playoff. I think Ohio State will win this game by over 30 points. I just don't think Nebraska is that good of a team this year. I think they'll get better as the years go on, but I think Ohio State will win this game handily. At 11 o'clock on ESPN is number 20 Texas A&M at Auburn. This was the one game in the article that the writer did not include because this game does not involve playoff implications. But Auburn is a 3.5-point favorite, and I think Auburn will win by a field goal. Even though Texas A&M has been very good this year and only losing to very good teams, I think Auburn will finally win a big game after that loss to Tennessee. And so in the video next week, I'll tell you how well I did on my predictions, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later.